Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you're well and having a really good week. Let's see who have we got in the comments. Now we're just on YouTube today, so I have posted it all. Shared the link on Facebook as well, but I just think it'll hold the stream better. Won't have any of those issues that we had a couple of weeks ago if I stick to one platform. Good morning, Laurie. How are you? Hope you're well. Debbie, good morning to you too. And Gillian Godfrey. Claire, good morning. Lots of you in early today. Hello, Vicky. Hope you're well as well. Vicky, I loved your Craft Stash blog hop or YouTube hop project. It was beautiful. Diane Hocking, good morning. Scrap Kathy. Oh, good evening, Scrap Kathy. Good evening, Kathy. I was going to call you Scrappy then. Sorry. In Australia, 9 p.m. here. It's only 10 a.m. in the morning. Going to be crafting with you today. I'm doing CCP samples. So CCP, hello Christine, is Creative Craft Products, which is what I'm using today as well. And one thing I didn't do, I must admit, and I will do it now while I'm talking, is I didn't check that this is still in stock. Just a tip for you all, actually. If you're on Craft Stash searching for a product that you've got in your hands, maybe you want to see the inspiration examples with it, maybe you want to see what the price of it is, whatever it may be, there's always code on the back. So I'm just going to type that in, DIOB1843. You can put that in the search bar on Craft Stash. There we go. Yes, so this is now $15.99. Now I've used this as the basis of my project. So yeah, I've actually spent a lot of time on this last night, building it up, making it three-dimensional, which is not something that the die particularly does, but I'm using the shape as the basic part of it. I'll sort of explain it all, but it's very personal. So this one is my husband's birthday card. Now, I'll say hello to all of you in just a moment. Lots of you joining me. Thank you so much. Now, my husband's birthday is tomorrow. I've not made a card yet. Honestly, it's been crazy here lately, as lots of you know, if you join me regularly. Both our fathers are poorly. We are still renovating the house. The craft room is coming on. We're hoping over the next sort of week or two that will be almost sort of move-inable. And yeah, there's just lots of other little things going on that just take time. So things like buying his present was a quick online shop on Monday. And doing this card is now with all of you. But because we've been doing the house, I thought it might be nice to try and create a card that looks like the front of the house, because it's actually very different. Well, quite different from when we first moved in. The shape and everything's the same, but we've done the windows and the door, and he's added lighting, which is really cool, and I'm going to add that into this card. So, Christine, I said hello to you, didn't I? Caroline Watty, good morning to you. Gemma, hello, how are you? I hope you're well, Gemma. Ditto with the blog hop. Beautiful, beautiful projects from everyone. It was so fun. Audrey Shaw, good morning from an actual dry northeast Scotland. You're dry, are you? Don't speak too loud, Audrey. The weather will hear you. Alison Blake, good morning. Steve, good morning. And is that Adele Clark? Good morning to you. Gillian is so happy. Got her joint. Hang on. I am so happy. My joiner got my units all fitted yesterday, and my room is looking amazing now to put everything away and get it sorted. I think that's the bigger job, Gillian. Honestly, craft room organisation is just ridiculous. I am looking forward to it, and on the other hand, I just want it done now. Okay, shall we get started? Shall I start explaining what I'm doing now? So I've taken this die. I've actually removed the chimney because when you die cut it into a card base, the chimney's on the wrong side to mine. So I'm going to add in my own little chimney later on. So I've snipped the chimney off. So I cut the card base, bear with me, just the one, and then I cut it again, trimmed it down and stuck it on the side. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you all a quick photo of my house, which might sound a bit odd. Then you kind of know what we're aiming for. Right, so it's got scaffolding up at the moment, but so it used to be all white windows, white garage. It was just a wreck. We've done all the repointing. My husband added these lovely little lights. This is literally how it looks at the moment. We've still got scaffolding up, but it doesn't matter. So you can see you've got the main shape of the house there, and then you've kind of got this extra bit, which is a porch and the garage. And in here is where my craft room is. So you come into the porch, there's a door just here that goes into the garage. Yeah, so basically this is the shape that I'm creating, so that's why I've got this. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for everyone. So I'm a bit worried I've done this a little bit low. well, you know, we'll see. It's never going to be perfect proportions, is it? Because it's already a pre-made die. So I've cut the two and I've stuck them together. Now what I am going to do, and I'm not going to finish this, I know I'm not going to finish this morning with all of you in an hour, but I'm going to make a good start. Hopefully you'll see me starting to put it together. And what I'll do is tomorrow, I'm going to work on it tonight, because he's out playing football tonight. Woohoo. As in woohoo, the night before his birthday. It's perfect. I can bake a cake, I can finish his card and all those things. So he's away tonight, so I'm going to finish this off, and then what I'll do is tomorrow evening I will finish a photo or photos of the finished card with the lights and everything. But we'll see how far we get today. Vicky, bit of drama with your son this morning. I hope he's okay and hope you're okay. Good morning, Deborah. Yeah, Isabel. I think I've said hello to everyone else so far. Okay, so now what I've done, like I say, I've done a lot of preparation. I'm not going to be gluing anything down just yet because I need to do the windows and doors next. So I've decided I wanted lights in this. Now I'm going to have lights in the two front windows, the front door, which is actually going to be on the porch, and in the soffits and the fascias along the guttering, which is what our house has got. Now I have taken these little LED lights. I actually had to take them out of a past project that was just sitting in a box and I wasn't using it anyway, so it wasn't really a gift, it was just a fun project to make. So I have taken these out. Coincidentally, so we've got 5 downlights above our garage, and there are 10 on here. So that leaves me 5 for above the garage and the porch, 1 for the behind the front door, and then 2 each for the windows in the house. But I needed kind of a gap between the card base and the front of the house to be able to put all this wiring in and make it work and everything. So what I've done, I'm also going to try and have the little switch on the side. So I have taken this shape and I've drawn around it, and I've added tabs to the side, enough to make this dimensional so that it's 1 centimetre tall. So it's got 1 centimetre tab on each edge, plus another centimetre to kind of fold round and glue on the back, or rather on the front of the card. And then on some of them I've added tabs as well, just for security. Okay, so I've got that. I've then just got my individual, just die cut that and cut it right out, so it actually creates a card base, which I'll show you in a moment. But I've just cut the one piece. This is what I'm going to do my decoration on, and then I will be gluing that on top. It's just a little bit safer than trying to work into the 3-dimensional thing. It'll all become clear, hopefully. The same with the porch. Now the porch was a little more difficult. I really had to get my maths brain on here, because I've raised up the house by 1 centimetre off the card base. Yeah, okay, you're still with me. I don't expect you to want measurements for this because it's not your house, but hopefully it'll give you inspiration to try something a bit more personalised one day. So I've raised it 1 centimetre off the house. That means my porch I want this also raised 1 centimetre off the house again. So it needs to be 2 centimetres off this part, but 1 centimetre off that part, which I've managed. Let's take that bit away and that bit away, which I think I've managed to do. Again, it's just a case of working out the tabs, lots of centimetre pieces. And then I've got 1 centimetre up to the point where it's going to be against the house, and then 2 centimetre drop, as you can see, just here. I think that will all work. It'll all tuck in. Okay. We'll glue it together. I'm pretty sure. I've kind of done a dry run holding it all, and it seems to work. Yep, Vicky's still with me. Good. Julie, good morning. Hope you're well. Then I've pretty much done the same sort of thing with the roof. So instead of actually cutting the roof tiles, I've drawn around the die cut. So I've got that shape, and I've done the same. I've added tabs. 1 centimetre for the main part of the house, like so. Now, this one was a little more difficult, the porch, because I needed it to stick out 1 centimetre. The reason being because I want to have those lights underneath, cut down lights, so I needed it to be raised at 1 centimetre. But I needed the colour of the roof to extend round these also, but also then have the additional 1 centimetre in front. Is it all getting too confusing now? Quite possibly. So when I start putting it together, hopefully it will become clear. I've got my soffits. These are what my lights are going to go into under the roof line. So I've got 2 of these. They have got tabs on the end. And you know what I found in the garage? Not in the garage, actually, in the conservatory, because it's our tool room. My husband's been stripping cable. He's an electrician, and he brings home scrap cable, and he actually strips it and takes the copper for scrap, and that's something he's allowed to do as part of his work. But we get these bits of plastic laying around, and I thought that's amazing because we have black guttering. So I've trimmed some down as best I could, and that's actually going to sit as guttering on the soffits as well. And we've got a couple of downpipes and things. So, like I say, a lot of this we won't get round to today, but I love doing all the maths. Do you? Yeah, it was quite therapeutic. I did most of it last night. I got up early, did a little bit this morning, but I am enjoying it. But I do really love the finishing touches. Right, so now the main bit for me is to do the front door, the windows, and the garage door as well. So I need to work out how big these are going to be. So what I'm just going to do is, I think I'll do them in these actually. I think I'll do them in these ones. So I need to work out, this is my base. Okay, I did say actually this die, it has a score line on it. So when you cut it out, if you cut it over a folded piece of cardstock, it scores that edge. It doesn't cut that edge. So that's how you can create a card base with this, but a lot of the time. So I did my first initial card base with that, and everything else I've just trimmed away. You also get a huge amount of other dies in here. All the windows, the doors, the fence and everything, but these aren't the right windows for me. The door's not right either. I'm going to try and recreate those. But literally by hand, I'm going to be hand cutting. I've got my craft knife, I've got some cardstock, and that's the way we're going to do it today. So what I need to do is map out on each of these. These are going to be my top layer. Just pop that like that. I'm just going to use a pencil and draw around. So that's where that will be. Let's do it this side as well. Hang on. I can draw on the roof because the roof will be covered up. Okay, so now I know where things are going to be. I need to decide on my window. I think I do my living room window and bedroom window first. So let's take a look at that photo again. There we go. So they're actually two quite big windows. Did you find something nice for your husband's birthday? I did. Well, I don't think it's nice. It's horrible. I'm not bothered. He wanted a PlayStation 5 because he's a big kid. And to be fair, he's spent the last year renovating the house, hasn't even been on the computer. So I bought him a new PlayStation, and it came with one game, and my daughter's boyfriend has got him another game. So yeah, your brain hurts. I know. But Claire, when we get this put together, it's hopefully going to look amazing. Hopefully. Hello, Tanya. I hope you're well. Don't worry about being late. Do not worry. What a beautiful house card. I really hope so, Deborah. I really hope so. It's going to be fun, at least. Whew, I'm exhausted already. Okay, so basically, this window, I need to scale it. So it comes kind of in line with the top line of the porch there. Roughly the height of it. It's actually quite a tall window, quite a big window. I'm going to guess at the size here. I know it comes quite close to this wall, and we've got a bigger gap this wall. Okay, now I did look for my nesting dies. Don't feel that's in proportion. I think it needs to be a bit wider. I looked at my nesting dies for dies that I could just cut this in, and there just wasn't anything. Nothing was quite right. So, hey ho, we shall make it. And then my daughter's bedroom, I'm trying to think, it's actually wider. It's actually wider than that. I'm going to have a quick look at an old photo. So just for comparison, this is what the house looked like. This was like the I think one of the estate agent's photos, or it might have been the day we moved in or something like that. I can't remember. You see, it wasn't very nice. Oh, this wasn't an estate agent one. Yeah, so it's the same width, but it's much slimmer, and it literally comes to under the roof line. Now, I've got to bear in mind I've got soffits on there as well, so I think I might just drop it down to about here and have it a similar. Do you know what? It's quite a. It's not a tall window like my living room one. So there we go. Okay, so. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out with a craft knife. I've got my Creative Craft Products one. What it is, I suppose, is craft knife. I'm just going to go for it because I can worry too much about the size. I think as soon as he sees it, he's going to know it's our house. He's not going to go, well, it would be our house, but the living room window is not quite large enough. I hope not, anyway. Let me see. So Gemma and Vicky having a chat about, I've done a tutorial, got 4 more to go. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, getting on with your samples. Oh, I see. Working Craft Stash launch samples and things and videos. Yeah, busy, busy, busy. We're actually, we've got something very exciting coming up next week. So it's, well, you probably know it's Black Friday week. So Craft Stash have so many amazing offers, deals, discounts going on lots of their product. So yeah, that'll be a really, really fun week. Now, I don't know if I'm going all the way through yet. I'm just going to put my guidelines down with the ruler, and then once my guidelines are down, I will basically freehand this. Almost through. So what I will be doing, and this will be something that I'll sit and do this evening, I won't do it with you all, I am going to draw on the pointing for the bricks. So the mortar for the bricks onto the front of the house. I'm also going to, look at this, I have cut myself roof tiles. I'm going to ink every one of these, and I'm going to be curving them and with hot glue gluing them on, so that, because our roof tiles are those pan tiles or clay tiles that are kind of curved, like almost an S shape, so, or a wave shape. So yeah, I'm going to be gluing those on as well, which will be fun. And I'll do all the tiny, tiny little details that make it our house as well. I'm hoping he'll keep it. Fingers crossed. There we go. Okay, we have our windows. Now what I also need to do is do the same 2 apertures into this part too, so that the lights shine through. Put that on there. So draw through with a pencil. Always easier if you're ever cutting shapes through 2 layers, 3 layers, whatever it may be. Always easier to do it with the top one first and then work your way down. Really hard to cut the bottom one, so you cut into a card base and then try to layer on top with the same aperture in. Almost impossible, honestly. I'm not worried about these being a bit wobbly either. I'm just not worried. Hello, how are you, Simone? Hope you're well. Lovely to see you all chatting to each other as well. Honestly, crafters are so friendly, and I think through things like these lives, you all do sort of get to know each other, don't you? And I assume you all talk through comments on your own social media as well, messages and such. I know some of you have met up at the Craft Stash office. We haven't done that for ages. Hopefully get Christmas out of the way with, and we'll have another day all up there together. Okay, so I've got my aperture. Now I will be putting acetate behind that. I will be obviously putting the actual window frames in as well. I'm going to make, this is why I've not worried about this being ever so slightly not neat, because the window frames are going to make teeny tiny little bit bigger, so I can cover all the up over. Right, so I've got that. Now for the door, I suppose I better work out the garage door actually. So the garage door actually pretty much comes to underneath the soffit and the fascia, which is 1 centimetre. I've made this. So that will go, yes, a garage door. Now the garage door only has just enough here for the downpipe. I know that. That's the edge of the house, so I'd say, I'm just thinking the garage door is probably there. See, this is me knowing my house and knowing the proportions and things. Then I've got my front door. Now let's see how, look at the old photo. I don't want to look at the old photo. For anyone just joining, hey, you don't want to see all my photos, do you? There's all sorts in there. yeah, so we've got quite a gap. So it's basically the door is about, it's just over a third of that space, isn't it? And it's definitely not as wide as the windows. So I would say let's go there and let's go there. Now what about the height actually? Once this is, oh, so it literally, again, it comes right to the top here. I think the door is going to take me the longest. So I think the door, for the door, I'm going to add the little step. There is a tiny little step there. It's literally about that deep in real life. Right, let me see. Linda, good morning. How are you? Hope you're well. Nova, good morning to you. Better late than never. Absolutely. Gemma, do you think that was an open invitation for us all to go? Yeah, all come. We'll have a massive day at Craft Stash. We'll just bombard the office one day. If I book out the meeting room, we'll just all descend on Stockport. It'll be fine. Okay, so happy with that. Now I don't have any lights in the garage, so I don't need to think about lights there. Where I do have lights though, or I will have a light behind, when I get my front door done, I'm going to have, this section is going to have a light behind it as well. So I kind of need the top half of the door in this panel to be free to have a light behind. Now, like I say, this will all have a front door over the top of it, so I don't need to worry too much. There we go. Pop that out. Not quite nicked the corners. Who else still works with a craft knife? Or are we all so accustomed to dies now that we kind of use those a lot more? I'm so glad I did all the working out of the, excuse me, the base with you before you all, yeah, that goes on there. That's right, isn't it? No. Before you all joined me, because this would have been pretty boring working this out. It took me ages. Right, and then into here. Right there. So I think the next thing, because yeah, I need to do the windows, don't I? I know a lot of people aren't so keen on using a craft knife. I love it. I like having that control that you don't get with a trimmer. You don't get the precision with a trimmer. With dies, you're really quite restricted to the shape and the size of the die, which is why I needed to do that. You still use a craft knife, do you, Laurie? You're off, are you? Everyone's coming over to Stockport. Okay, I think it's time for me to construct the base. And I need to get the lights in though, don't I? Okay, let me think about this, the best way to do this. Let's get the acetate behind, then that bit's done, because the windows will go on top of the acetate. So I can put one big piece of acetate behind these windows. Still going to be hidden, so there's no stress with. And do you know what? Acetate. Usually I would use a red liner tape, but it does stick with glue. So pop that all down. All going to be hidden. So I'm not worried about that. Because look, all hidden. There we go. Got a tiny little bit of glue there. Where's that? That's on this side. Mind you, my daughter's bedroom window, probably needs a clean anyway. Let's do the same on this bit. And then that acetate's going to be enclosed between the two layers, so no one will be seeing it. It will be hidden. And that's just that bit done. I haven't got to think about. This is from, I've said it lots of times before, but she's actually Blonde Cards and Crafts in the comments, but Simone, she sent me that, which is brilliant. So I always get questions about it every live where I got it from. So she's there. She has an Etsy shop. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Yes, okay. Now, I need to consider how the lights are going to go in this part, which is the soffit and fascia. I mean, if you're not in the UK, you might have different names for them, but it's basically those boards that are underneath the roof that the gutter sits on. So we have lights in ours. We have 5 lights. So I need to measure these actually, because my husband is an absolute OCD thing about measurements and things being equal and even. So I'm going to have to put these. I'm just trying to think which is going to be the best way. It's going to be a square. So there's 1 there. That's going to be against, yes, so it'll be the second one up. We've got 5 lights. Okay, so there's 10. So if I did 10, 0, is this going to be right? 5, 2.5, 7.5. There's 5 spaces and they're evenly spaced. Probably not the same as what our house is, but it'd be close enough. So these are going to be, I'm going to try and position. Let's actually put my hot glue gun on, because this is, oh, that's not my hot glue gun. It's in the bin. It's fallen down into the bin. This is something that I do need to get attached quite quickly or early on in the project. I'm calling it a project, not a card now. Oh, what have I let myself in for? Do you know what? At the end of the day, if it all goes wrong or I don't finish it, I can still make it for him for Christmas. I can then decorate it for Christmas, and I can just, perhaps, I can just give it to him for Christmas instead and go and buy him a card tonight. Right, so the lights are going to go, this is going to be the end of the run of lights. So they're going to go through these spaces. I'm going to use some hot glue to secure them near there. Then they need to go through this. Yeah, because they're under the roof. They're going to need to go through this one as well. I can glue, I can't see any reason why I can't glue that on there now. Yeah, I think so. So let's glue that. That's one less layer to think about. Like I say, I will do things like drawing on all the pointer and the mortar later. I won't do that with you all waiting around, because that will just take, I'm just going to get a really sharp, very pale yellow pencil, and I'm just going to draw them by hand, which will be hopefully quite therapeutic. Okay, so what I need to happen is we've got the 5th light in the soffit. So it needs to then come through here. I wonder if I can get a hole through here easily enough or not, whether it will reach. Give it a wiggle. I don't think I'm going to reach very easily, am I? Come on, squeeze down. Actually, if I do it this way over the top. Now I can't see where I'm going. Right, so I think under the roof line, about there. I've done it now. The wire can come through here. I might need to make these holes a little bit bigger, to be fair. This one particularly. I haven't got a bigger punch on me. I don't know where my crocodile is. I think it's in the other studio. I had it somewhere. Anyway, then the light is going to come behind. Mama Bear Marie, how are you? Oh, honestly, Simone, I'm intrigued to see it finished. I have no idea how it's going to work. Accidentally Creative, hello, hope you're well. Lynn, good morning to you, your time. So yeah, 9:25 in Tassie. I'm loving your house card. I use dies where possible, but like you, not always. No, not always the right size. You could do the X Cup punch. I used to have one. I used to work, well, not work for X Cup. I used to work for Do Crafts. So I've got my 5 lights in my soffit, which I can now, my glue's ready, I can now put in. Then 1 light is going to be behind here. And I'll put it to the top because that's where the light would be. So it'll be brighter at the top. Then it's going to go through the house. In fact, again, I can glue this layer on. I can glue this layer on. It's going to make this a lot easier. Completely a different sort of card for me. I suppose this is more Sam's sort of thing, isn't it, with the 3D part, but I'm hoping it's what my husband will, or he will appreciate it. So not so worried about the windows. Everything will probably get inked as well, so I've got my distress inks out just to do edges and things. So it's going to go into the porch, there's going to be a light in there, then it needs to come into the house. Now there's absolutely no way I am going to be able to, there's no way I'm going to be able to punch into here. So I'm just going to, in my porch, I'm just going to cut a little hole, keep out the way of all the tabs. It doesn't even need to be a little hole, does it? It's a really, it was going to be a rectangle. Oh, I'm going through 2 layers, aren't I? Of course I am. Okay. Now, I also need to consider what's going to happen inside the rooms. Now, my daughter's room has a blind up. But I don't really just want the white, do I? Because I just have white. I don't know what that is on there. There we go. Looks like something I've been cutting. It's just a little bit, yeah. So my daughter's room has a brown wooden slatted blind. But you can't even see it there. We've got blue we have blue curtains up. I could put the curtains in and then, yeah. We actually have white walls. Yeah, there were fireplaces, there were crackers, there was all sorts in the Craft Stash YouTube hop. Okay. Let's start with my lights. So these are my lights. First one is going to be, hang on, make sure I got this right. Yeah, the first one is going to be glued just here. I'm not worried about the lights actually poking through the holes. There we go. Then, because of the length of the wire, which is actually quite long, let's put this next one in, and then I will tuck all the wire up. Has anyone ever thought about doing a house or some sort of building, recreating a building that they know or have visited in paper? Somebody who does it extremely well, and she actually, oh no, I'm going to forget her last name now. Someone might know. She actually did some work for a museum. She does like paper cutting and tiny little models from paper. Her name's Amy. I used to work with her when I worked for Tattered Lace. Oh, Amy, what was your surname? She is so clever. If I can find it later, I will be able to find it because I follow her. Sorry about the bang. Follow her on Instagram. She's extremely clever, and I will post the details on my Facebook page and share her stuff. She uses like scan and cut a lot, electronic cutting machines, but she also does things by hand, and they're just amazing. I think she creates like USBs with digital cutting files now. Anyone got any ideas who I mean? We have a real treat today. There's Sam at lunchtime. Oh yes, Sam's got her craft along today with her Papercraft Society box. If you haven't got to wait till 2 o'clock to see Sam today, that's on it's on the Craft Stash page. I'm not sure if Sam's here today. Actually, I haven't spoken to her today. It's on. Right, let's just see how. I'm not worried about the glue strings. I know I can clean up glue strings very easily. Let's just check we've got those all in the right, those 4 in the right place. Yep, one more to go. So Sam, I mean, I haven't seen her in the comments yet. Yes, it is on the Craft Stash page. I should know this. I know I should know this. So much going on at the moment. Just lose track. Okay, so I'm at the end of my 5th line. I am getting hot glue all over my nails, but if you just warm your nail, if you get it on your fingers, with your fingers it rubs off. On your nails it doesn't always rub off. Some of you all know what I mean. You've experienced that before. If you just get a hairdryer on your hand for a minute or 2, it will sort itself out. Okay, so I now have, look at this, right, so I haven't got my hairdryer, obviously, I've just got my, oh, it's something, it's really stuck to me. I don't mind little bits, but that's a big bit. So I'm sticking my thumb in it. A little bit on there, let's just get rid of that. There we go. Knock that away. Come on, you're going to show me up now. Okay, so I'm going to pop this into the shape it's going to be. I'm going to use a lot of hot glue, I think. Which way? That one, that one, that one. I'm thinking of the direction that this is going to be seen, so I want the front edge of the soffit, well, the fascia, to be the tab that folds over last, so it's as neat as possible. One, and the bottom one the second from last. They should all fold over nicely to create a square, or a, what is it? What is that shape? Can't get my words out. What is it? I've only just joined watching. Oh, it's going to be a house card, Therese. It's going to be a 3-dimensional house card. I've used this Creative Craft Products New Home die, so this is called Through the Keyhole die set, as the basis to create my own house. So this is the shape of my house. So I have the main house, which is like a 3-bed semi, and then we've got a garage and a porch on the front and side as well. So I'm kind of recreating that because it's our new house that we've actually been in, or we've had the keys for a year now. It's a rectangle, but it's a 3D one. So what's that called? It's not a cylinder because that's circular. Why can't I think of it? Right, now I need to consider that the wire needs to come out and go into this hole here. Okay, so whereabouts does that need to be? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim myself a little hole. Try not to cut the wire, because as soon as I cut the wire, I don't have the other lights. There we go. And then fold these edges over. So I'm working at all the stages of building this 3-dimensional card one by one. That tab seems a bit big for some reason, so I'm just going to trim that down. And I'm just doing a little bit with you today. Cuboid, thank you, yes. I just couldn't think what it was called. Oh no, that's the front one, isn't it? That's the one I want to go over last. Let's do these two. And I will be decorating it this evening. This bit is not going quite as well as the other end did. Come on, you can do it. So I'll decorate it this evening, and then I will post it tomorrow evening once my husband's had all his cards. So it's my husband's birthday card. Once he's had all his cards and he's seen it, because he does, of course, he does follow me on social media. He won't be watching this because he'll be working, and I know he won't go back and watch it either. He's not that excited about crafting, so I'm you know, I'm okay to do this with all of you, but I don't want to put a photo just in case it pops up in his feed. There we go. Okay, so we now have our soffit that's going to, let's put, have the downlights. And for those of you who have just joined, through the hole in the house now. You're right. I don't know. I didn't think about that. How am I going to put it through now? Because the battery pack's on the other end. I don't know. I'm going to have to cut some strips somehow, aren't I? Thank you for thinking of that. I'd have realised it in a minute. Well, literally now, wouldn't I? What I will do is I will make an invisible cut. This cut will not be seen. There. because we'll have things covering it over. And then this one, do it from down here. Yeah, will not be seen either. Okay. Thank you. Sorted, right. But I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad you're sort of actually following along and understanding what I'm doing. So that's going to go there. Now I'm not going to actually glue that just yet. I want to glue the roof on first. So the roof is this one. Is it this one? Is this the roof one? Can't remember now. I think so. We shall find out. So that is going to go on here. So I've got the 3D just like so. Like I say, I've worked all the measurements out. I'm going quiet at times. I'm just concentrating, making sure I get this right. So just, whoops, I've just moved it. Come on. There we go. I've never been very good at 3-dimension, and I've never been very accurate or precise. That's why I do a lot of mixed media, because well, I just find it easier because it's messy and you don't know where people go wrong with mixed media then, because it's so messy. Does that make sense? Okay, so that should go on there. Can you see where the dimension's starting to build up? So I'm going to have to actually make the shape now. It's quite daunting actually putting it together, starting to put it together. In a minute. There we go. And this one, again, fold that down and that will go. Trouble is, I do need the glue to dry before I do too much. Okay, starting to get some dimension. There we go. Got a roof line. Got a roof line. I'll just do this one as well. Not sure about this. I think I might be needing to cut this. I can't remember. Oh, I see. No, I don't. So basically my cardstock was too short, and I thought, well, as long as that reaches over there. Now this is going to tuck down here. Like I say, I wouldn't expect anyone to be following along with this, but I just thought some of you might be interested to watch. You need a new home card soon. You think you have that die. It is a fantastic die. Now I'm going to be putting roof tiles all over this, so I'm not worried about the edges at all, about it not looking neat. That's what I'm going to be doing, is the polishing up of things tonight while he's out at football. I shall be polishing. Let's just tuck that over there. Oh, I don't know how like Sam and Helen do it all the time. You'll be looking forward to a couple of days off. I've actually got tomorrow off. And so tomorrow for Glyn's birthday. Glyn's my husband, by the way, if I haven't mentioned. Tomorrow for his birthday, and then I've got put that under there. See, I'll extend the roof tiles down over that just a little bit so it doesn't look quite so drastic. And then we've got Friday off because it makes sense to have a Thursday and a Friday off. Okay. So all these different layers of cardstock are just going to strengthen it, hopefully. So like I say, I've got all my little roof tiles. I need to ink them and shape them, and I'll bring them down just a little bit lower, just so that, like I say, you don't get that gap and it looks a little more. Oh, of course, I've also got, for those of you who were with me nearer the beginning, I've also got the, I think I might need smaller bits, cut small bits. I've got the guttering to go on as well, which is just plastic, some strips of plastic, so the roof tiles will go into that. It'll be grand. Okay, let's have a look at the soffits now. There we go, we've got our downlights. Okay, so we now need this 6th one to be my porch light, inside my porch light, my hallway light. Which is just going to be inside here. And this is why I needed to make everything bigger, as it deeper, because I needed the wires to go inside here. Right, make a slit from the hole above the door and slide. Yeah, there we go, done. Made the slit, it's all fine. You can always fix things, cover them up with paper. Really enjoy making kinetic cards. Do you, trees? Starting to take shape, looks great. Well, it's the beginnings. It's the beginnings. Okay, so there we go. So I've now got my porch light as well, which hopefully once I've got my, so it's behind there, once I've got my my front door panel on, which is going to be lots of layers because it's actually quite a, let me show you. So it's a front door with some different shapes, and that's going to take me ages. So once I get all that on there, the light should shine through there. That's going to be garage doors. That's pretty easy because that's just a panel with, you know, with panels on. So that will be fine. Now to get these in, ready to, okay, pull that through. Make sure that's all dry. I think that is. Okay, so now I attach this actual side of the house. It's going to glue down like so. There we go. Now this is deep. In real life this is much deeper. We've actually got a little porch window in here facing this way, but I'm not going to be bringing that out like this big, so we can have a window in there. Okay, while I've actually got this here, I'm just going to run my glue around because they are all sitting quite nicely just there. I have noticed I do talk funny, as I talk in with big gaps between each line when I'm concentrating. I noticed it when I was editing videos. I talk funny. Yeah, see, you need to be, one thing I haven't done, okay, I need to trim up here. This one. Thank goodness roof tiles are going over here because this is not very neat at all there. It will be. I'll be fine. But the glue's taking ages to dry. Oh Lord help me. Should I have used hot glue perhaps? Okay, let's just hold that. Let's just hold it for a second. Give it a chance for that bit to dry before I do any more. Dun-dun, dun-dun. So what have we all got planned the rest of the week? It's looking insanely good, not yet, but it will. I can't wait to get onto the decorating part. I really can't. Do you think I should put the scaffolding up as well? I think you do well to talk and think about what you do at the same time. I just noticed I'm really slow. I like stop and say things and then, yeah. So basically soffits and fascias are kind of underneath the roof line anyway, which is why I'm going to bring those tiles down over it. Okay, now I think I'm going to be safe. I hope I'm going to be safe to glue this bit. Windy again. Who else has? Do you know what that storm we just had in the UK was called Storm Debbie? Was it Debbie? That's my mum's name. Debbie, Deborah. Can't remember. Storm Debbie. Someone said to her. See, I've got a little bit of gap. That actually makes sense because we've actually got a hole in our roof at the moment. We've got a gap to match. Okay, so that's one corner. That's another corner. Let's do hot glue on this bit. Just to get that roof shape there. Pop these all under here. Yeah, I think I can glue these in too. So I've left some random tabs just to support the corners as much as possible. All this is going to be hidden within the card. There's a tab there, but that is not required. Or is it? Oh yeah. So all these bits are the bits that are going to stick to the base of the card. It's coming together. I do need to do this roof before I can stick it onto the card though. This one should be easier, in theory. I'm going to do it. Hang on a minute. Yeah, so that goes there, doesn't it? There aren't any lights, there aren't any downlights on the roof, the top roof one. Would love to have put them on, but it's dangerous getting up there. So what have I done now? I've only done 1 centimetre. Oh, okay, so I'm just going like that. I'll cover that with roof tiles then. Probably should have done that 2 centimetres, that tab. Trim off edges as I go. Cool. I could make someone a new home card now though, couldn't I? That'd be alright. So all of this is going to get covered with roof tiles. Yeah. Shall I do sand one for her cottage as well? Make it look like her cottage. Do you think she'd like that? She'd better like that. I'm sure she would if I did it. So these ones should have been 2 centimetres, which is really annoying, but like I say, I'm going to cover it over with, so I didn't get it all right. I'm going to cover it all over with individual roof tiles anyway, which is going to take me forever, but it'll be worth it, I think. Okay, trim that edge off so it lays flush to the card. Same this end. I don't know how I missed that. This needed to be 2 centimetres. That was me rushing, which isn't unusual. So that's going to be down there, that's going to be there. Oh, I'll just put that on the wrong blinking tab as well. There we go. So what other ideas have I got for decoration on this? Not a lot really, because our house is pretty plain. Like it's just brick, tile, the grey bits. Okay, so now before I actually construct the rest of the house and put, so this needs to go on, doesn't it? This is easy. Before I put everything on, and the light's on. Let's just put the soffit on the biggest tab. That's the biggest tab. 1, 2, 3. Squidge them all together and put a finger over the top. For roof tiles, do a strip which you can cut slits in but keep one edge attached. This gets covered by the next strip. Oh, that's a good idea. That would save a lot of time, wouldn't it? Mind you, I did want to shape them. I suppose I probably still could to a point, couldn't I? Curve them just a little bit to give it lots of texture. If I'd have thought about it, I could have started last week, sorry, and then finished it this week with you all. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? If I put too much glue on, it takes too long to dry, so I tend to wipe a little bit off. Oh no, not happy with that. But... Right. Are you making it into a book style, Simone? Let me see. An advent calendar box using the Simply Made Crafts large shadow frame album box die set. Yes, I've still got my frame, my like printer's tray type frame, and I keep looking at it thinking I really must finish that. But it'll get done. I'll get in the craft room. I'll get it done. Yeah, that's actually perfect. That roof line there, and the yeah, happy with those. We can still distress them a bit on the cut side. Yeah, gonna need to. They're pretty distressed tiles, to be fair. Okay, right, now I can do the lights. So I was thinking 2 lights for each room, but I will do them at the top. Do I want to add... I want to kind of add some tiny, slim, brown, very pale brown slats. Oh, look, I'm at 11 o'clock already, and I'm nowhere near finished. So I'm actually going to cut loads of these. So my daughter, let's say, has got a wooden slatted blind in her room. Thank you so much, everybody, for kind of staying with me today. I can't wait to show you this properly. I think that's going to be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Let's do as Linda said. So I'm going to lift every other one of these up and trim that off. I know you said about doing this with the tiles, but it's a good idea. Trim each alternate one off, and then I've got them all on one tab. Oh, let's just take the last one off. Can't have one last odd one, can we? And then I can glue that along there, because this is all going to be hidden. Make sure it's quite straight. We'll get these lights in, we'll see what it looks like from the front, and then I will let you all go. Well, you can go, you can leave when you like. I think we're all fascinated. I'm fascinated. I've no idea what it's going to look like. Let's glue these lights in. So I've got 2 quite close to each other there for her bedroom. I say her, I mean my daughter. So they can go around about there. Let's just... Oh, I need another glue stick. I did get some. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, that was unfortunate. I've just got a big dollop of glue there. Right. I didn't really want that there. I don't advise, by the way, sticking your hand in hot glue. It'll look good. I'll record it and see about sharing it as a tutorial. Fingers crossed. Mind you, it's going to be a pretty bit of a long, it would be a long tutorial, wouldn't it? Right, let's be patient. Wait for those lights. Oh no, I've missed one. Okay, well that's fine. That could be a living room one. That's my living room at the front. How did I do that? I'll be part of the living room lights. Right, that's okay now. That's dry. Just need this. Oh, let's tuck that away. Try and cool it down quicker. Hope you'll share a little video and pictures when it's finished. I will do. So he'll be opening this. If it's all finished, he'll be opening it tomorrow evening. If not, his birthday's on hold until I've got it done. And then, yeah, tomorrow evening. So I'll have photos and videos scheduled for tomorrow evening. And then as soon as he's opened it, I will be sharing so you can all see what it looked like. I don't want to do it before because although he won't watch a live or video, he will possibly see little shape. He will possibly see a photo if I put any photos on Facebook. So we'll see how it goes. Just waiting for that glue. I'm just thinking where's going to be the best place to have this coming out. I think maybe popping through the side of the card at the back and actually glue it to the back of the card. At least then the batteries can be changed if it actually uses it that much. It's just Oh, I don't want to do it. I know. Just do a slot like that. I'm multitasking now. There we go. So that will just bend round onto the back of the card. How much do we need to come round to the back? That'll be enough, won't it? Okay. Let's just pop that wire down. Okay. Hold that all down. Should we see what we're looking at so far? Ta-da! Right. It's all looking a little bit plain at the moment. I'll get all that decoration on there, the windows and the doors in. There we go. That actually looks so much like our house does when it's lit up, especially with the blinds. Obviously it's all going to be on the card base, which I've already made. I'm going to glue it all to the card base, and then I'm going to get decorating, put all those windows in, put the brick mortar on, put all the roof tiles on, put the guttering on as well. So we've got the black guttering that's going to go on there. There we go. My voice. What was my voice? I don't know. Put the battery pack onto the back of the card base. Yeah, so I've just popped that through. That will then go, that will be sat against the card base there. So then that will be on the actual, I'm pulling it towards me and playing with it, so it will actually be sat on the back of the card base once I get it all on there. There we go. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to make you all watch. I'm going to finish this evening. Oh, I'm so pleased with that. It's going to look great, I think. But thank you all for joining me and just watching me waffle and work it all out and glue, and I'm covered in glue actually. But there we go. So if you like the idea of this, I'm probably not using it the way I have, but this die set, absolutely brilliant set. This is what I've used. It is now $15.99 and it actually creates the card because this is a scored edge, so you can cut a real card base. So that is available on Craft Stash, and it is pinned in, or Craft Stash is pinned in the comments there as well, so you can pop through to that link. Okay, everybody, and don't forget Sam's got her Papercraft Society craft along at 12:30, I think. So go and catch her there. I'll be watching and I'll be in the comments as well. So can't wait to see this. I'm just checking. When you said you don't want to do it, did I put on a face? A voice, sorry, quite possibly. Well, thank you all. Take care. I love chatting to you on a Wednesday, so I'll be back next Wednesday. And yeah, see you all soon. Have a fabulous week, everybody.